Hey everybody, it's Austin. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the day I almost lost my life. About 5 years ago, our friend was going to Minnesota, so we wanted to hang out with him before he left. We all just hung around and walked around town and had fun. We stayed up really late, and the next morning it was really annoying because there was a knock on the door at like 8 a.m. and we stayed up till like 3 then the next night, and it was my sister's friends, two of them. They just wanted to hang out with us and all that. We ended up hanging out and riding around with them. There was too many of us to fit in one car, so we took two cars. It was my sister and some of her friends and one car, and then me and one of her other friends in the other. So we ended up driving around, and eventually, with all the traffic, we ended up getting split up. And I didn't know, but my sister and her boyfriend and friend had to go to another town about 20-25 minutes away from us, and we didn't have any clue that they were going or not. And we were driving around trying to find them so we could follow them and hang out and stuff, and we just couldn't find them. So eventually we couldn't find them, and we were still driving around trying to find them. We ended up going out to this little reserved boat ramp little thing outside of our town, and we were messing around. He was the one that was driving. I wasn't. Um, he thought he was cool doing donuts and all that stuff and drifting, and he couldn't drift. Let me tell you that. Um, we were driving, doing all stupid stuff, and he decided he wanted to leave, so he was flying out of there and totally lost control and put us off the bridge. Now, mind you, when I say a bridge, I don't mean like a huge bridge. It was just over a little like creek kind of thing. It was only about 10 maybe, yeah, 10 feet off the ground or something like that. And but it was flooded. It was, flooding around here and all that. So the water was very, very high, and there was big like angle iron stake things sticking up, and it just was not very fun. It was actually very scary. Now, when we hit, it was actually on my side. I was in the passenger seat, and I was wearing my seatbelt, thank God. Um, the big stake things, the cop said if it would have been over like another 6 inches or so, it could have went through the car and actually killed me. So it was very like close. I was very lucky that day. Um, the water was actually so high that the front passenger tire was touching water, and I could see it like right outside of my door, and I was scared. Um, my head actually ended up hitting the windshield, and the airbags went off. And I'm not lying when I say this. I could not do laundry for like a month afterwards because it smells like cornstarch. So we didn't even call the cops. My sister's friend just wanted to leave because I guess he was in some trouble already. But some stranger that was riding by on their bike actually called for us and let me call my mom on their phone because I didn't have my phone with me. Um, so he called the cops and all that. We got the cops on their way, and come to find out, it wasn't even his car. He borrowed the car from his friend, and I had no clue and all that. So when the cops got there, her friend decided to lie and tell the cop he was only doing like 20 or 25, which was a major lie because he was not doing 20, 25. Um, Nobody was hurt, thankfully. It was just very scary and all that. Um, we ended up getting it all squared away. The cop took my sister's friend home and then took me home and talked to my mom. But before that, we had to go tell the owner of the car what happened. She was not happy, and her boyfriend literally was like ready to beat my sister's friend up. So I was pretty scared. So when I got home, my mom was already notified. I called her. Um, she wasn't very happy with me. She was mad, but she was also concerned and all that to make sure I was okay. Um, she ended up talking to the cop, and everything was done and over with that. Um, when everybody found out, my sister and her friend and all that, they ended up racing home and making sure I was okay and all that. I ended up laying in my room scared for a good hour or two until my dad got home, and he was, just like my mom, he wasn't necessarily mad at me, but he was upset with me for making the choices that I did and hanging out with, riding with this guy. Um, so I mean, I didn't get in much trouble, but I did get in some trouble for, making bad decisions. Um, Me and my mom actually ended up driving out there to look at it because she hadn't seen it yet. We had to put gas in my dad's truck before we went, and she thought she would be funny and scare me a little bit by spinning the tires, and I seriously almost cried. So when we got there, the car was still there. It sat there for like 2 or 3 days maybe because it was flooded and it was too dangerous to pull out, or I don't know. But we got there and it was literally like a horror film in my mind because it's like you almost died right there, and it was just very scary. So we ended up looking at the car and all that, and then me and my mom went back home. My grandma and my aunt's child came, and they wanted to go look at it. So we went out there and they looked at it, and my grandma ended up crying because she's very soft-hearted and she was very worried for me. So before my accident, I was all for, fun, crazy driving, doing donuts and stuff like that, drifting a little bit and riding with other people while they're doing that. Um, Now I cannot trust anybody driving. I yell at my dad all the time for, not stopping soon enough or taking a corner too fast or something like that. I If I go on gravel, I have to drive. I cannot ride with anybody on gravel. And when I do drive on gravel, I do not go over like 25 mile an hour because it literally traumatized me. Winter driving is pretty much 10 times worse because, gravel, you can at least do, you can go kind of fast. I don't, but you still can. But snow and ice, it's not very good. You just slip and slide, and it's more dangerous, so it just scares me even more, and I literally do not ride with anybody during the winter. So we don't talk to this guy anymore. We went our separate ways, and, you know, he does his thing, we do ours. We're perfectly fine with that. We love where we're at in life right now. We're very happy and stuff like that. Going out to that place since the accident, it does get kind of creepy. I can do it. I used, like, right after the accident, I could not go out there. I would puke every time. I would just freak out, and whoever was driving would literally drop me off at the road because they wanted to go back there and I didn't. So I would literally stand at the road and they'd drive in there and look at everything and come pick me up. I will try to find a few pictures of the accident and all that and what the car looked like and that good stuff. If I can't find them, I'm sorry, but I will try to find them and I will insert the pictures right here. Alright guys, that's the video of how I almost died. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment and all that good stuff. And subscribe and turn on the little post notification bell so you can be notified every time I release a new video. Bye guys.